I'm joined now by Judith Davey-Cole, the CEO of Girls Brigade Ministries. We're talking today, Judith, about social media because Australia's in the headlines with their plans to ban under-16s from using a whole host of social media sites from December. They actually got a UK company to look into the effectiveness of different ways of policing that. But as we talk about social media, increasingly it seems in the news, I wondered what your experiences were of how young people today here in the UK are actually seeing social media themselves.
Yes, really interesting question. We see very strongly a trend for young people using social media for friendship, for creativity, for learning, for activism, for advocacy, a whole range of things. But equally, we know that many of them experience online harm. And just to pluck one statistic out of the air from a late 2024 survey, 77% of girls and young women experienced unwanted sexual attraction online in 2024. So they're using it for things that are really good, but there really is a dark, difficult side to it as well. And as Girls Brigade, we support the intent of the ban, protecting young people from harm. We treat adults and children differently in the real world. You're allowed to do different things at different ages, but we haven't quite got to the point where the internet can reliably distinguish between people's ages, which is why all this work's going on. Both in the UK, the study that you referred to, the age verification study, the work from the 2025 Online Safety Act, but also the work in Australia and elsewhere around the world, trying to find a way to crack it. And what I think was quite interesting from the survey from the Age Verification Providers Association that came out, was it yesterday, shows that good progress is being made, although a range of solutions will be required, not just one single thing. And as Girls Brigade, we advocate for education empowerment, not just restriction. And we know from our research that young people spend much of their time online. So while we offer safe, enriching alternatives to online engagement that integrate through our, weekly groups, physical activity, teamwork, developing life skills, generally having fun, we do know that online is very important to all young people, but particularly certain groups of people, young people. So take young carers, for example. They can't always leave the house due to their caring responsibilities. And we know that online can be a lifeline in terms of maintaining friendship groups and purposeful activity in rural areas as well. So while as Girls Brigade we provide safe alternatives, place-based alternatives, we also provide safe online spaces too, with digital safeguarding built in. So in addition to doing online crafts and Bible study and badge work and that kind of stuff, we also run online programs like Staying Safe in the Digital World. And just as an example, we explore with girls and young women who attend, what is truth? What is truth? How do you know whether the images and posts that you're seeing are real or whether they've been altered or enhanced? And we then contrast that with biblical truth. And of course, we teach them how to question. How do I know whether this is real? How can I check? And teaching young people to go beyond face value and question is a really critical life skill for 2025 and beyond. So we welcome the study, we welcome the media attention on the Australian ban at the moment, because we think that between us, there's a great opportunity to engage young people in thinking critically and faithfully about their digital lives and keeping them safe and finding different and powerful ways of sowing the seeds of faith.
Now, we know from previous conversations with you, Judith, that your young leaders at Girls Brigade actually span the generations. So they go up into the Gen Z category, not just the younger generations. And I just wonder if you think that this education, this awareness, this learning to question, learning to analyse and find out whether something is true or not, can actually be beneficial to all of us at any age, not just children.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely agree with you. We take youngsters from 4 through 18. You can start being a young leader at 14 and then go on to till 26, and then you become an adult leader. So these skills absolutely span the generations, and questioning skills, and they benefit all of us in, thinking beyond the obvious and looking at things from different angles and checking and verifying and validating and all those kind of things. And they're important life skills for all of us, but particularly so for young people, where we know that we know how bad some of the online harm can be.
And we see, as you mentioned, the Online Safety Act here in the UK, this ban being brought in Australia, various different nations of the world are trying to put the onus on those providing these services to actually put protections in place. Do you think we will see a point where social media is, by and large, a safe place to be?
Well, I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. And like the report that came out yesterday, I also see, the Girls Brigade also see that it's a multifaceted approach that's required. There's no single one thing that's going to make it all different. I think we need a combination of, legislation and regulation and, enforcement, that fines if unacceptable content is being shown to the wrong group of people, all those kind of things. But we've also got to find ways of creating safe spaces within that social media, because it does offer so many possibilities. And as I say, it does offer a lifeline to many young people. So let's try and find a way of creating safe spaces like Girls Brigade do, with a trusted adult, with digital safeguarding built in. So we can do that, which will hold them and challenge them and engage them, whilst at the same time, in parallel, people are sorting out the issues with the providers and content and technology and digital verification and VPN and all those other kinds of things. So I think it's a multifaceted approach, but my prayer is that we do get to a point where it is safe.
Judith Davey-Cole from Girls Brigade Ministries, thank you for joining us today.